Hello everyone. Welcome to the market snapshot for today. The Nifty, I would say, was just better than rest of the Asian markets. Nifty 500 pretty much similar close to where it ended on the day before yesterday. US 100 has just dropped by almost 1%, and S&P 500 almost trading at similar levels to what previous session was there. Let's look at the numbers. This is for the Indian market. For S&P 500, the advances were close to 171 against the declines of 329. This was second straight session wherein the advances have reduced against the declines, but I think the breadth is pretty much stable, so nothing to worry about. New highs are getting formed in the market right now. We have around 12 new highs against 488 new lows. Nothing staggering, but for sure much better than what was happening at least prior to this week. So I would still say this is still a good rise considering what we were seeing from last 1-2 months. And let's look at the breadth. Almost 331 stocks trading above 20 MA, almost 300 stocks above 50 MA, and around 268 stocks above 200 EMA. So the good part about this rise has been the breadth has not deteriorated a bit throughout this entire week. The breadth was very stable. It sustained to its level. So I think that's a very big positive because I think the breadth remains the number one indicator, at least from my point of view, about where the market is heading. I mean, the Asian markets have corrected a lot, I would say. Looking at those, I think India has been doing pretty well. And let's look at the chart. This is Nifty 50. I think it is acting exactly how I would have wanted. I mean, I just wanted it to hover somewhere around here, and this is what exactly it is doing. A runaway gap was not something which I was looking for because again it would have just drawn more and more uncertainty. The markets will again fall back, to cover to fill those gaps, which I did not wanted. So I think I like what is Nifty is doing. It is not going down, it is just hovering around these levels, forming a base, and then that is when a certain momentum would help the markets. So I think pretty optimistic for me, the Nifty's chart, sorry. Nifty 500 looks very bullish. No signs of worry here. Has respected 50 MA. If you see, 50 MA has already taken a rising trend, and again hovering around these levels, then slowly gradually forming a base and then moving ahead. I think the chart is looking pretty good. No signs of worry here too. The trend and participation for Nifty 50 and Nifty 500, like in both the cases, if we look, the participation became mixed because of the yesterday's session, but the breadth in both the markets has remained strong. So no signs of worry, and I would say the Indian markets look very healthy and strong at this point of time. Looking at the US market, this is S&P 500, 326 advances to 175 declines. This is, I think, this is second straight sessions wherein the advances have found its way, which is very strong indeed. And I mean, although there is a lot of breadth lost, but I think second straight sessions wherein advances have overpowered declines. Good news going on for the US broader index, I would say. New highs, this is commendable. 38 new highs against 462. I think last month or so I have not seen a number which was touching 25, so this is like a very remarkable, I think a very strong Friday for the US markets. Just look at this. I mean, if you remember in the previous sessions, the point of worry was a lot of stocks had gone below 20 MA, and most of them were between 50 and 200 EMA. But right now you look at the rise which 20 EMA has got, around almost 317 stocks above 20 EMA, 321 stocks above 50 EMA, 314 stocks above 200 EMA. So I think US markets are doing very well, except the Nasdaq 100, I guess, but this looks a very strong recovery. Let's look at the chart. The chart looks absolutely bullish. There's nothing worrisome about it. I mean, till the time it is respecting 50 MA, I think this is a beautiful chart. It's just that I'm not making any positions here. The reason being the breadth has not been supportive. Till the time breadth regains, I'm not in for the US markets at this point of time, but it is a wait and watch for me. I'm not completely ignoring it, but for sure I'm just keenly watching it. S&P 500 again respecting 50 MA. That is the level at which it has bounced back again. The breath is forming, the participation is coming. This is a promising looking chart for me, at least for this point for now. S&P Russell 2000 again a promising looking chart forming a base at its highest level. Could go either way, but at least this at this point of time, with participation and breath in its favor, it looks very, very bullish to me. The trend and participation, again same story, everything has changed for the US markets in last two trading sessions, because they all are US 100, S&P 500, Russell 2000 all are trading above 50 MA. I give them a bullish. The participation has come back and the breadth has been strong, so pretty going for the US markets. I would still wait and watch for US 100, but rest two indices, I think I'm very, very optimistic on S&P 500 at this point of time. US 100 for sure, till the time breadth does not comes back, I'll be waiting. Russell 2000 is not looking bad too. Let's look at the global perspective. The dollar yields, I think this was third straight session wherein they traded below 50 MA, so maybe this is what is giving headwinds to the US equities market, because both cannot rise. So basically, if this has started falling, maybe that this is what is giving a rise to the US equities market. Dollar increasing, this is something which is worrisome for the US equities, because again this will give a lot of friction to the rise of US equities. Let's see if this continues to rise and equities fall, or maybe equities continue to rise and this starts falling. VIX, I would say uh, nothing terrorizing about it, but it is at 18, it just shows signs of being cautious. BTC trading at 62.40 below 50 MA. Risk appetite is subdued. Gold again below 50 MA. Risk appetite is subdued here too. Let's look at the dollar chart. It's just making a new high every day. It's a very, very strong looking chart, and again a very strong indicator that, see, either this will rise or the equities will rise. At least this chart doesn't shows that this has got any intentions of falling, but then let's not predict anything. Let's see what happens exactly. So that is the reason I'm a little cautious on US 100. S&P 500, if it regains its breath, I'll be interested there. Bitcoin, it's a downward story, going down, trading below 50 MA, but for sure a lot of good shorting opportunities. If at all you are trading BTC, I would highly recommend look for shorting opportunities. Highly recommended. Gold, same story, very similar to BTC, trading below 50 MA. A lot of good shorting opportunities available. Figure out how do you trade and look for opportunities on the shorting side. The top three sectors which maybe will remain in my watch list for the coming week. From the India's perspective, it is health, PSU, and banks. From the US perspective, it is industrial, financial, and Russell 2000. I did not go with a sector because Russell 2000 looks stronger, and hence that's the reason I gave this to be my third pick for the US markets. The top 5 picks for the Indian market, I would say Cupid, Wellcop, SKF, Indus, Radico, Sri Piston, and for the US market it is ABBV, UNH, MRK, J&J, and well. These are not trade recommendations, these are watch list recommendations. Look for opportunities. I'll be looking for opportunities in these if at all something works out. But again, these are not trade opportunities, these are just watch list opportunities. Let's see how the strongest of the stocks move in the market and give some opportunities to us. That's all for this week. I hope whatever content I have been sharing has been useful to you, and you are able to relate something to the US market, to the Indian markets, and global macro indicators like dollar, BTC, gold. That's everything for now, and see you next time. Thank you so much and have a good one.